The Key Focus Podcast. I'm here, your host, yours truly, Kerry Krucial Brothers. With my man, guest host for tonight, Lord Byron B.
I go by the name of
Lord Byron B. Period. We had a little discrepancy in the title a little earlier. He was like, bruh, you wrote my name down like I was a poet. You gotta add the capital B and a period. So for y'all that don't know, when y'all search for his name, it's Lord Byron, capital B,
what it be?
Period. Here with us tonight.
Appreciate it. It's a pleasure being here for Key Focus.
Yeah, man, Key Focus. So we just vibing right now. We live. It's the 1 year anniversary of this project, from the live streams, the IGs, the Facebooks, the Twitches, of a project that featured an artist by the name of Aziza Love. But the dopeness about it, it also featured producers from the live streams, the Krucial feedback, the IGs, as I said, the Facebooks and all, who also was part of this project, as well as engineering-wise. I mean, it was a family affair. Shout out to the Krucial Collective.
It's Krucial.
You know what I mean? So happy anniversary to Aziza Love, God ENOUGH Mixtape, man. And shout out to Foxy B, McNair, Sean Trey, Herbie, Silk Tone. Shout out to everybody that was part of this project. Many more to come. I was gonna say so much more.
Your question.
Yes. Sir.
In the perfect world,
Yep.
can we get like our own like special, like a Key Focus episode, but it's the decoded version of this project? And you can get all the homies, whether you do it like on the Zoom.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Because this project is hard, but I really would love to hear from everybody.
The breakdown for each song.
From start to finish, like, you know, like what was like the mindset going into this from Aziza, from you, and then to spearheading all the collaborators.
We could do a Key Focus breakdown.
What up, Voxy? You're
Story behind the music.
1,000%.
Like masterclass. I like that. Yes, coming soon. I like that idea. Exclusive. So the one thing about this mixtape, we did 2 original songs, the rest was covers, and that was done on purpose. And when the feedback came back, everybody was like, yo, I love that. Proceed with caution. Thank you. Because Proceed with Caution was the original. And that's a good sign. But the covers held it down too. So this Meet Me at Our Spot was a cover from Willow Smith and her partner. They have a group. Aziza covered it, killed it so much where Willow herself reposted the cover. And it got like 100,000 retweets and all of that. And it just let us know we were on the right track. I already knew we was on the right track. So when I say that, I'm saying that humbly. It just let us know. I knew we was on the right track. You know what I mean? But I'm be fake humble. Like, oh, that's nice that she liked it. I knew she was going to like it, motherfucker. Okay? And we did a video to it, too. So check out the video on YouTube. Follow Aziza Love on YouTube. Aziza Loves Music. So today we're showing gratitude for what we did and what we released from projects created during the pandemic. And you know, that was a really weird time in life, for real. Like the pandemic where everything was shut down. You had to wait on a long ass line to go into a grocery store. You could order anything to be delivered to you, but you realized there was these extra costs for delivery. Like if you try to buy something for $5, by the time it got delivered to you, it was $15. That's what the hell was happening. And that was before inflation. To know that these songs were created during that time, I'm full-time at home with my youngest children, not going to no studio, not going nowhere, doing the homeschooling with the laptop. And yo, it was a surreal time. I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of miss it, for real. I kind of miss it. Sometimes I wish shit was shut down so I could catch up and reorganize and realign my priorities. So I got to do it mentally because it's not going to happen again. People are going to go to war. Trump supporters are going to go to war if you tell them put a mask on. So anyway, this is the project that came out of that time. And yeah.
So real quick, I feel like we don't give the Wayans family enough flowers. Because I was thinking about like, I feel like they laid the foundation for like what's like comedy now for like African Americans in general. But also they gave a start to a lot of comedians that weren't necessarily quote unquote African Americans. James Carey for one. Some might know
Jim Carrey. Oh yeah. Oh,
but like,
you addressed him by his proper name.
Come on, man. But like when you think about like the quality of videos and television that they produce, like the Wayans Brothers show, right?
And scary movies.
Little
Man.
White girls.
White chicks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Little Man was funny. But no, like you go back to like
sucker.
That was a classic. Don't Be a Menace to Society While I Drink Your Juice in the Hood is a fucking classic.
Oh yeah.
Change my mind, anybody out there. But there's so many key takeaway parts from that movie, and like the writing was ahead of its time for what it was worth. You know. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. Shout out to the Wayans family.
Yeah, shout to the Wayans family for real. You right. Marlon Wayans.
Blank Man.
Wayans.
Remember that?
Blank Man. Yeah.
That was a fucking classic. Marvel should have been like absorbed that.
Keenan Ivory Wayans. And don't forget the
More Money?
In Living Color was, ahead
of his time.
No, the series with Pops was in the series with the Wayans brothers.
Oh yeah, I said that already. That was the first thing.
Wayans brothers. Yes. Oh my God. We're brothers, we're blacks or something. Yeah. Keenan Ivory Wayans, man.
They don't get their flowers enough.
No doubt, man. Shout out to them, man.
Way before Tyler Perry.
Way before.
But to have all that and like a Jim Carrey comes from that, right?
Jim Carrey, yeah,
J-Lo.
definitely.
I'll wait. I'm just gonna stop there.
I can't help it when I hear that. What's his name? Jamie Foxx. I hear him be like, "Oh, y'all remember J-Lo?" And I remember when she was Hey Ho. She was just dancing on stage. It was like Hey Ho. I can't help it because he was talking about how she switched up on him. He's like, "Yo, you J-Lo, Jenny from the block, but I remember when you was Hey Ho."
You know what I'm saying? We go back. You know what I'm saying? I remember before the J-Lo, you know. I remember when it was just, hey ho. I'm serious.
That's the funniest shit right there. Yeah, shout out to Keenan Ivory Wayans, the first black person to put his whole entire family on.
The definition of I'm putting everybody on.
I'm putting everybody on.
What MC Hammer tried to do.
Yeah.
But he didn't go broke.
He didn't go broke. He didn't go broke putting everybody on.
Shout out to MC Hammer there.
Like, come on, man. Look at this. This is everybody. Like Marlon, Sean, Tracy, Sherelle Jones, Helen Martin. Come on. Bernie Mac. So Chris Spencer. Oh,
Lorenzo
Lorenzo
Tate's
Tate's brother.
He was the dad, and There'll Be a Menace. You remember that? He was the young dude. He still lived at home with his mom.
We both like the brother.
Yeah.
You know, Faison Love, Omar Epps, Craig Wayans, Viva. Yo, he put so many people on. Kim Wayans, Paula Japaka. Like, these are all the people associated with this brother, man. I'm Gonna Get You Sucker was a dope ass shit because it had KRS-One.
Yo, you gotta bring back the random Mr. Brother movie nights or documentary nights, but you gotta show that not a lot of people have seen that movie.
Which one?
I'm Gonna Get You Sucker.
Oh, yeah. We got, so
Man.
you say we gotta bring back movie night?
You gotta bring it back.
We gotta bring back movie night? Okay.
Even though it can't live on the internet, people just gotta experience that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gets your favorite, snacks and your drink, but this is like a movie that's like,
Yeah.
it's for the culture. It's so many key takeaways in it. Even though
Yeah.
it's comedy, there's like a deep message under it,
I agree. I'm on with it.
So many gold chains. It was one chain, then two chains. I just go to the bathroom with all this shit on.
Oh, man. Yeah. I miss movie night. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do miss movie night.
Yo, so if we translate that to the music, the first thing that pops in my head would be like the equivalent of like, if you look at like Damon Wayans, right? And as a family tree, and then you can kind of like break off everything what kind of spawned from him. You can kind of look at in the Rocafella, the Jay-Z and Dame, and then you could do a family tree from there, which when you think about it, almost touches a lot of stuff in the industry now because part of Jay-Z's lineage and tree is Kanye, right? And then Kanye basically spawned a bunch of people off from Virgil to, a lot of people from fashion, music, whatever. But then even with Jay-Z, he spawned a lot of like executives off as well, so it's kind of like, coming up with the people you came up with. And once you get in the position, if they stay down with you for the longest, you know what I mean? To pay it forward. And
Yeah,
put
but
them
break
in
it down.
positions.
Break it down. So you said what spawned from that family? Talk about the executive. Who are the executives?
Steve Stout was one. He's killing it right now, United Master.
Yep.
Tata's been killing it at Rocnation, right?
Yep.
Shout out to Biggs. Biggs is killing it. Hip hop and nothing to say about hip hop.
Since 1987.
Hip hop. What's the other guy named? The guy that runs with DJ Khaled.
Lenny
S.
S.
Man.
Who started with photography.
There you go.
Yep.
Guru.
Yep.
Blaze.
Young Guru.
And then Dame, you still gotta give Dame his flowers. A lot of stuff came from Dame.
Of course.
A lot
Let's
of movies.
break it down.
A lot of hip hop movies. All the Paid in Fulls, right?
Paid in Full.
He did Dead Presidents, right? Was that him?
No.
It was him, right?
No, Dead Presidents was the West Coast dude.
Got you. But don't quote us. But more of the story is that
Nah, keep going. You can't end it that. Dame did more than that.
his son has cookies. For sure.
Don't forget the fact, even though a lot of people like, oh no, Dead Prez was Huge Brothers.
There we go.
The Hughes Brothers. That was Dead Prez. My bad.
But they had clothing lines. They had Rockaware, State Property had a line.
Yeah.
They had Armadale. That was the first liquor line that they did at Rocnation. Well, not Rocnation, Rocafella, Rockaware, the clothing line, of course.
But you can't forget that Dame Dash is the one who signed Kanye.
That too. He believed in Kanye
He
and put his
believed in
money up.
Kanye. He signed Kanye, believed in Kanye, and Kanye elevated from that point. That's a key point because you might get an opportunity, but there's no guarantee. So from Dame Dash came Kanye, came Rockaware.
They had the Reebok deal too.
Rachel Roy, that was his wife, then ex-wife. She did her clothing thing. But he did do State Property. He did do films. He did Paid in Full.
There we go.
He produced Paid in Full, classic movie, Cameron, etc. Wood Harris. Shout out to Wood Harris, you know what I mean? A great actor.
Yo, my favorite quote from that movie, hella unrelated, was when they go into the corner store and the dude wanted some money from him, and he was like, I see you shining.
I see you shining, nigga.
I can smell a motherfucker with money.
Yeah. that hating ass uncle.
But I don't know, like it's like the perfect example, like I said, of the Wayans and like, Jay-Z and Dame of, somebody who spent years in the game and they were in a position to put the team on. But the
Yeah.
team, they knew to wait until it was their turn to level up. You know, even if we look at Kanye for a minute, right? Mm-hmm. So Kanye already had his crew of people that was around him, like Ivan, shout out to Ivan Jasper, Don C.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? These people, they been dope in Chicago and on the scene. And when it was their turn, like they leveled up. Virgil, prime example too.
Right.
Virgil was there when Kanye was doing internships overseas
Right.
at all these Paris like fashion houses and stuff like
Right.
that. He saw him, you know what I mean? And then he got his chance at the bat, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like, you know, everybody was trying to be number one. Everybody was just trying to like, yo, let's make sure this person is hot. And then, you know, pay it forward, you know.
So once again, is this your first time here? This is Crucial Feedback. I started this because people always hit me up in my DMs and send me messages or tag me, or they want me to get feedback on their music, their tracks and stuff. And I used to try to hit people back and listen and then give feedback. And I was like, yo, it's impossible. I'm one person. I only have a certain amount of hours in a day. I figured that was a good reason to go live. This is how I give feedback to everybody that hits me up, that wants to share and get some feedback on what they're working on, or even feedback on what they have out and want to promote. This is how and when and why I do this. When you do send tracks in, I want you to be here live. Because if I'm going to take the time, you take the time too, then this respect is mutual. Crucial Feedback, Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And that to me, that's the secret of it all, because when ego comes into play, everybody wants to be the man right away. They might have somebody that is leading, getting the opportunities, or getting the look, or getting the spotlight, or shine. And when it's your people's, you're supposed to, you know, keep the flame hot. Add to the flame. Keep that flame burning. But when the ego comes into play, you be like, I'm dope too. Why nobody talking about me? And such and such. That's all ego. And that's the problem with a lot of people that don't understand. It's like, if you come from a community, if you come from a certain neighborhood, and you see somebody from where you come from and from your generation or your background, and you notice they getting the platform, the spotlight, the opportunities, the leverage, instead of being jealous and try to chop them down and tell them they ain't because you feel you ain't, you trying to bring them down to your size so you feel more comfortable, add fuel to the flame. Say, yes, they're the If you separate your ego from it and you humble yourself and be like, bruh is getting all the opportunities, all the looks, all the rewards, and he from where I'm from. I could get that too. I'm next because I'm affiliated. I'm associated. That's how you're supposed to think. But most people, because they're insecure and they have low self-esteem, they get angry at that and they try to destroy that person to feel better and level them down to where they're at.
Wax sauce.
You know what I mean? Wax sauce for real, but that's reality.
Can I say one thing real quick? Keep that thought.
Yes.
You know what they say about that?
What they say about that, brother?
Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Am I wrong?
You not wrong. You're not wrong. But that's what it is. Because I'm going to tell you from experience, I've been doing this music shit since the 80s, and then the 90s came, and then I was noticing people I was affiliated with or knew was getting signed and opportunities and moving on into acting and doing this. And my feeling was, oh, these are my peers. I'm next. Why? Because these were my peers. These were people who I saw on a regular basis, whether it was weekly or bi-weekly, but these were people in my cipher who I considered my peers, and they were getting opportunities. So I'm saying, oh, they're at the level where they can get real opportunities. So it's just a moment of time for me. If my man that I know for so many years gets a big look and I know we relate and he appreciates what I do and I appreciate what he does, it's just a matter of time before they recognize me. I never looked at it as like, oh, he's gonna move on without me. He's gonna change and fuck him. I'm better than him. That was never my energy. But now I'm learning that that's not normal. You know what I mean? Mother be hating. If it ain't them, it's fuck you.
Yo, so check it again. So once again, pausing that thought. And I keep going back to episode 1. We dropped some gems in that. So I feel like what you're saying, and if you remove ego, right? Yeah. So if you're drawing like an algorithm or an equation, remove ego from that. And then if the end goal, if somewhere in there is like synergy, which you work towards the common goal, that's when ego is removed, then the outcome would be something that's worthwhile for all involved parties.
Yes.
So yeah, if you got ego, then, I feel like you don't get the best possible product or song because you're trying to figure out what's your advantage and edge versus everybody working on the same accord to like achieve a great project like a Kid Mad City, Sister Project, and countless projects. So I'm just using those as an example because we've been talking about those. So it sucks. I get it. But for those people who are creatives and you're creating stuff, whether it's music or movies or content, and maybe you're figuring out your stuff's not resonating or connecting with people, and maybe you need to do a deep dive and see what's going on. Because yeah, you could have people you could tap in per se and kind of like leverage, certain resources to collaborate with people. But you may not like seeing that opportunity. You might think that, oh, this person is trying to hit me up, but I've been doing this longer than you. And just because you got 10,000 followers, we're not going to say that person's name. They were talking about off record. Make me feel a certain way. So now I'm having an interview with you, Mr. Big YouTuber. And I've been doing YouTube longer than you, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. Instead of how can we work together, to, like you said, to build your stuff up with the stuff I have, it's kind of like I'm going to shoot you down, what you were saying, because I don't like the way you rolling, I'm all about synergy, everybody working towards a common goal. But if you're not about that, you don't necessarily have to work with that team or that situation. Once again, if you do music, movies, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just everybody has a position. If you get on the boat and you're part of like a crew, everybody's not the main captain. Somebody has to be in the bow of the ship to make sure all the electronics are working. Somebody has to feed everybody on the ship. Everybody has a purpose. So that's why I'm personally curious to hear the behind the scenes of the Aziza project, because it's so cohesive front to back. Right. And I'm pretty sure everybody had a part and everybody was cool with that and they just played their part and it was synergy the whole time. So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Nah, man, I mean, the basic line is like what the basic underlying thing is people need to realize that no man or woman is an island. Even though fans or the general population might champion the celebrity or the artist or whoever, they have to realize that that person wouldn't be there without their team. And the stronger your team, the more successful you are. Like, we don't understand who is behind a Post Malone or Drake or Taylor Swift, etc. Like, we know those names, but we don't know who's the team behind them that makes sure people pay attention to them and they get the best marketing and they get the best promotion.
Shout out to Dre London for Post Malone.
There we go.
Shout out to 40 for Drake.
But you understand what I'm saying? Like, those names don't be shouted all the time. Like, we get caught up in the star and the end product, but we don't understand the work that goes behind the scenes and the camaraderie and the unity and the loyalty that goes behind that pushes these people to be in your face and to make you look at them with awe. Oh my God, oh, it's amazing. Rihanna, Jay-Z, and Beyonce couldn't be amazing without amazing team. That's what I'm saying.
Yo, can I add something real quick? So I had a meeting earlier, right? Mm-hmm. With an artist, which remain nameless, super talented artist. And towards the end of our meeting, usually I ask them, do they have questions for me? And one was just like the age-old question, like for artists like myself up and coming, what would you recommend? Mm-hmm. And then he goes, but just don't tell me to keep doing me. And I laugh, because that's the first thing I actually said was, you'll just keep doing you. And then I gave him an example since he brought up Lil Nas X earlier in the conversation. Mm-hmm. I was like, one of my main producers, shout out to DJ Chop a Lot.
Chop a Lot.
I was like, he has 2 records with Lil Nas X. I said, Lil Nas X did 2 records before Old Town Road, and there were DJ Chop a Lot beats. But I was like, as an artist, Lil Nas X was consistent. And he was, even though those records did well, shout out to DJ Chop a Lot, he did one more, and it was Old Town Road, and the rest was history. Mm-hmm. So that was that part. I said, but the second thing I would say, it really is your team. So I was really stressing. I was like, a lot of people, they see a label as the end all be all, which you and I both know is not the case.
Not the case.
I was like, you really got to have that external team glued together, right? Because they're the ones that's like making the day-to-day plays when like the main part is kind of like either lagging or whatever. But they're the label as a support your dream. Yeah. Not to necessarily write your dream, if that makes any sense. So everybody, like you just mentioned, like you said, it's the team. And I feel like, a lot of artists, you might not necessarily have each person for everything you might need, but it's probably important to figure out for what you are right now, what key parts do you need, Because you might not necessarily, where you are, need a manager. That's not really like a key thing for a lot of artists. You just kind of need to figure out, your sound, your identity, and build your audience. Because managing zero is managing zero at the end of the day. Right? Exactly. And no one who you and I both know is like gonna just do that for free when it's not no ROI or whatever. So anyway, so that was my whole thing. Like I was like, you really gotta focus on building up that team around you. Which the people we were talking about, an example earlier, was the Wayans family. And obviously we don't know the in-alls behind like the business scenes that, Keenan had, and Damon to like build up their empire. And then, Jay-Z, and then we kind of know obviously from what we've seen, and you've obviously a little more closer than I am. So that's obviously more obvious than like the movie stuff. But anyway, it's all teams.
It's obvious to us because we deal with music business, but it's not obvious to a new person trying to pursue a music career. And that's why it's important that we say that, because we sit from the public view. We might have a favorite artist or favorite song, and we wonder why, whatever happened to this artist? We loved them, and they were doing so well. What happened? And I can guarantee you what happened was their team. They didn't have a strong team, or they switched up and left their team. That's what happened to your favorite artists. Did they fall off because they were not talented? No, that's not the case, maybe. Their team was either weak or they left their team and tried a new team. All you sports people know. How many times you seen your favorite ball player, football, basketball, join a team and something didn't connect?
LeBron James.
You understand what I'm saying? Did the player fall off? Did the player? No. He was on the wrong team or had a weak team. That goes for your favorite artist as well. When your favorite artist didn't make it, it ain't the label. Like, that's how we like to do. It's a perfect example of what you said. Because I had an artist and we did a production deal, whatever the deal, and we had these discussions. And the label was like, yeah, we could do this and do this and do this. But we had to get to a certain point and certain level and have a certain plan to tell this label what we wanted to do. And they had to believe us before they put the money and resources behind it.
Message.
So that came to the team. So a lot of artists think, as you said, I get the major deals, the end all be all. You're gonna be you're gonna get the deal with the major label, and if you have no team, you're fucked.
Aroundandfoundout.com.
You because if the A&R or the senior A&R or the president or whoever doesn't have affinity or you're not the favor, it doesn't matter shit. You're just another number under thousands of artists signed to the same label. But if you have a winning team, because if you have beef with the label, who's gonna fight for you? Who's gonna fight for you? I don't like the talk to me later. Holla at me in 5 months.
Yeah, bish.
You bitch.
Bish.
That's so insulting. Like nothing worse than being called a bitch. You don't even get the TH to disrespect. You're not even a bitch. You're a bitch. I'm too lazy to pronounce the other consonants. You know what I mean? That's how much I don't care about you. You bitch. So that's where your team comes into play. The label will be like, oh, we don't know what to do with you, and we have this, but your team is supposed to be, oh, this is what we're doing, this is this and that, and all we need is this and this and that. That gets them activated.
That shit worked.
That gets them activated. I had many emails, phone calls, conference calls, and now today Zoom calls on what's the plan? What do we do? The major label don't come up with that. You got to come up with that with your team. And if you disregard your team because you think Universal, Sony, RCA, Atlantic, Warner, whoever the hell you think, because you recognize that big brand is going to save you, you're disillusioned because they're not going to take the time. They don't have the time. Your team that led you to the waters of negotiating with these people is where you need to focus your energy, where you need to create your stronger bond. There's too many stories of artists who did so much independently with their independent team and signed a deal with the major label and got sold into slavery with golden handcuffs. I'm guilty of it. I had the golden handcuffs. Like you don't even know you shackled because it's gold. It's like, oh, look at the gold. Oh, you see them go? You see me shining, nigga?
I see you shining.
see you
nigga.
shining.
I'm shining,
I can
nigga.
smell a motherfucker with money.
But I can't do nothing because I can't get no money. I can't get no budget without their approval. So how am I in control? Now I got a campaign, shake hands and kiss babies to prove to them I'm worth a budget. Because what we need to realize, all these major labels are not music companies. They are subdivisions of bigger corporations. They're I'm going to say it again. All the music labels are subdivisions of bigger corporations. GE over Universal. GE, you know what GE, you got refrigerators, microwaves,
NBC.
light bulbs, NBC. Come on. Sony, they started with the Walkman and now they got all type. Come on, man. The music division is just a small division and they got to bid for a budget every year. Can we get some money so we can make records? You understand? That's why bottom line is about bottom line. So none of these major labels are really music labels alone. They have to answer to somebody else. Bro, nobody buys CDs or albums anymore. A refrigerator is going to sell more than your music, bro.
I bought like 6 vinyls last year. 3 CDs, but I got you.
Bro, you got a refrigerator that them CDs couldn't even pay for the fucking ice. That's what I'm saying. So when you deal with that and you know what it is, it's more wise to focus on your team and your ability to move independently and do that art from your heart and have the team that understands you and builds with you. And when you deal with these corporations, it needs to be a partnership. And that's when you have leverage. They're not going to save your life. All you need them for is the distribution and the machine that they created in terms of marketing, promoting with radio, et cetera, et cetera. Other than that, if you're looking at them to save you, I got news for you. You got to save yourself. That's what it is.
But no, that was a good topic. I don't know. You know, it's funny. So I feel like as creatives, and I know like the goal for you with like podcasts is like across the spectrum, right? Not necessarily music driven, it's whatever. Mm-hmm. So like whatever you're trying to do in life, even if like tomorrow you and I wanted to open up a candy shop or we're just gonna sell chili and soups, you still would need that team. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's the same process with anything, you know. So that's the whole point today. We're trying to drive home, folks. We gave you an example of some people who came way before us, who've killed it in both of their industries. And from there, you can kind of trickle down and see like, you know, the offsprings. Even if you take it far on like the culinary side, or like a lot of these restaurants who are like well-renowned Michelin star restaurants, they have chefs who study under the main chefs who eventually go off and start their own restaurant, you know? So same shit, different day.
Yeah. Like a lot of times when you are an aspiring artist or aspiring writer or case may be, and you spend your money for these conferences or these panels or whatever the case may be. And I always remember when I used to do a couple of panels, and I done one with Matthew Knowles on the panel, and he said something that just clicked with me, per se. And he said, okay, how many in the audience are artists? Raise your hand. And a certain amount of people raised their hand. Then he said, how many people are producers? Raise your hand. And they raised their hand. And he said, how many people in here are managers? And raise your hand. And he said, everybody in here that saw this, what you really need to be doing, if you're an artist looking for a producer, you should have been paying attention to the people that was raising their hand. If you're a manager looking for artists and producers, you should have been paying attention to the people who have been raising their hand. He said, what these panels and conferences are about, most people are looking to us up here on the stage talking, but you don't realize the very person you need is probably right next to you right now raising their hand. You'll have a better chance of connecting with these people right next to you that's living in your town than trying to come up and connect with the people on the panel, because we're already doing our thing. We're very busy. We have all this going on. We don't have that time to build with you as a person who's here that spent their money to come here and connect and network with. So if you smart, pay attention to who's next door to you, who's sitting right beside you that raised their hand. That's the gem, because those are the people you build your team with.
Message. I mean, these are keys. Like, I love the fact that we do this live. Yeah. But for me, it's the playback factor, right?
Yeah, sir.
When people go in their regular day lives, they'll go, oh shit, you know, new upload. And my thing is that you can apply this to wherever you are in life or wherever you are in your career. And you can almost use this as like a checklist, right? Because that's how I am. Right now I'm reading Rick Rubin's book, right?
Yep.
And a lot of stuff he's saying is like a lot of stuff I've heard before. But then the way he kind of puts it is like, okay, I guess I'm doing the right thing. You know, but if he's saying something that I feel like I haven't personally done yet, then I'm like, okay, maybe I need to, you know, realign some stuff.
Right.
So I feel like, you know, having an outlet like this is always cool for people who are sometimes lost. Yeah, everybody might not have a team, but they can listen like, you know what? That one person has been trying to reach out to me to send me beats. Or this one writer has been trying to work with me. Or this one engineer is like dying and mix some stuff for me for free. Let me give them a chance.
Yes.
You know, and see where that goes.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
You never know, folks.
And we pull it back to this God ENOUGH mixtape. You know what I mean? A lot of people, you know, they come on the Krucial feedback, Twitch and YouTube. But, you know, there's certain people hit me up thinking that's the way to get me to work with them. Like, yeah, I'm coming to the, but I really just want to collab, fam. I'm like, bruh, I don't do that off of, you know, blind dates, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like, I need to know what you're about, what's your work ethic, what's your track record, can we relate? Is our mission the same? You know what I'm saying? So when I do these feedbacks and people hit me and they're like extra determined to get at me, as I was saying earlier, comparing to what Matthew Knows was saying, I'm busy, bruh. I don't really care. Like, it has to be a lot, or I have to be invested in it to care. And I'm telling you how you can have access to me and be on my radar. I'm saying every Thursday night, I do Krucial feedback. I listen to any and everybody. Don't have to be rap. It don't have to be R&B. You can be a country singer. You can be EDM. It don't matter. Your mind, you put in limits on this. I love music, period. So people be like, oh, check my music guy. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, sistren, homie. I do a live every Thursday. Don't DM me. Don't at me. Get at me live. And then the people who do take time to make that effort, we created a whole project off of it. The God ENOUGH mixtape happened from people who participated with the live streams, with the Krucial feedback, with the Instagram, with the Facebook, with the YouTube, whatever the hell. And it happened organically.
That's just so hard.
They didn't ask me, I didn't ask them. I said, oh, boom, boom. And they connected, and the chemistry gelled, the relationship built organically. And then Aziza hit me, said, I just did some joint with such and such. Oh, I just did this on such and such track, and we've been talking every day. That's what the it's about. You gotta take the initiative. Stop waiting for the industry person or the celebrity to give you the approval to be great.
Message.
Just be great. Do what you gotta do. Real recognize real. You don't have to ask for shit. Do what you do. Do what you gotta do. And tell me how you did it.
You know the Arthur Ashe quote?
What's the Arthur Ashe quote?
I'm gonna get this wrong, cause shout out to Modelo. The unofficial sponsor. But
You know what I'm saying?
I believe it's start now with what you have. But let's Google that. But I'm pretty sure.
Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. That's the quote.
There we go.
Facts.
Starting is the hardest part. I feel like it's another conversation for another day. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, that's the
That's
whole
a whole
thing.
other episode.
Bro, I went through that so many times, so many years. Like, I really sat and did my research and read what I have to read and study what I have to study because I wanted to be perfect. I didn't want to make a mistake. I wanted to get it right off the bat. And the thing I learned is that's bullshit. You just have to start and figure it out because you could fall into what they call analysis paralysis, where you studying and analyzing and reading and inputting and you get all this and you still don't want to start. You're paralyzed. You start getting endorphins from learning stuff. It feels good that you're learning, and you're like, oh man, ooh, you're excited about what you're learning. It's stimulating you, but you're still not doing nothing. Analysis paralysis, and you're satisfied with learning it, but you're still not doing nothing. And then the person who don't know half as much as you says, fuck it, I'm gonna try it, I'm gonna do it. And they'll make mistakes and they'll fall short, but they'll readjust and figure it out and get further than you, who kept studying and studying and studying and reading 17 books about business but never opened a business.
Say it louder for the people in the back, though.
Do it. That's the best way you can learn. There's no perfect way. You just have to do it. There's no right time. You have to make the time. There's never a right time. Just do it.
Key focus.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, bitch.
Yeah, bitch.
Man, I miss you. I miss this shit. Cause we used to do this for like free back in the day, just hanging out.
Hey,
no cameras,
man.
no nothing. Just pure vibes, right?
It's pure vibes. But it's good for the people, man.
Yeah,
That's what it's about. It's about sharing, educating. I love learning as well. Like, if you guys out there have something to say, feel free. Jump in on the comments. Jump in the Discord. Don't DM me. I'm not paying attention to any goddamn DMs, you know what I mean? But if you want to hit me in the comments on YouTube or join me on Discord, it's all good. Don't at me, as they say. But yeah, it's been real. Thank you for rocking with us on the Key Focus podcast. Hope you took something you can build with, and let us know what more you want us to touch on so we can keep serving you. We all about service, people. Peace out.